Can make some ground beef nachos with us today. We're gonna start by making our pico. So first, our onion, you want to make sure you cut it through the root, all the way to the stem, all the way through, and this just makes sure to keep your onion together while you're trying to chop it. I already have like a quarter of an onion here, so I'm only gonna do about half of this. Then you want to like very thinly slice off the tip. You can get rid of that. Then you want to peel your onion. I usually like to peel the outer layer and then also one more layer in, because that layer is also kind of thick and tough and really not the most pleasant mouth feel. And now for the rest of the onion, what you're going to do is you're going to slice and make vertical cuts across the length of the onion like this, making sure to not cut through to the end. This is gonna start our little dice, but also keep the onion together and make it a lot easier to chop. So now that we have our vertical slices, we're gonna cut into the onion like this. Same thing about as far until the end, and then not all the way through. And this is just gonna add another layer of dicing to our onions. So now our onion is still together, so that when we finally slice across the grain that we created earlier, we're gonna get a small little dice like so. You wanna be careful here to not slice your fingers, and you can just go all the way across, all the way until the end here. And with this last bit, you can chop it up. This is like skin that I'm not gonna throw away. But now we got a chopped onion. So now we're gonna chop up our tomato. So I like to just chop off the tip with a little root in it, because just an awkward texture I don't really like. So now, very similar to the onion, we're going to start with slices on this one actually, like this. You just want to slice all the way across, obviously making sure your fingers aren't in the way. If you have a dull knife, this might be kind of difficult. And now you want to turn your slices of tomato into what we call matchsticks here. So this slice here is called a julienne. So we're going to do this all the way across for our whole tomato. You can even like stack them like so, like this. Then now you're gonna go across the length of your slices, giving us a nice little chop. You can probably end it there. So now we got our tomato in the bowl. We're gonna go ahead and chop up some jalapeños here. Very similar to the tomato, we're just gonna cut slices across. If you want a milder salsa, then you don't have to cut with the seeds. You can just cut around the seeds, because the seeds and like the inside white part are the hottest part of the jalapeno. And then similar to the tomato, we're gonna cut our little matchsticks here. Then we're gonna go across our matchsticks like so, to give us a little chopped jalapeno here. So now we're gonna do our garlic. So you want to start by placing your knife on top of the garlic, like I said, and you can just smash it like that. And this will make it really easy to peel. And then usually the garlic will stay whole, like so. But sometimes it'll smash up, and that's okay for right now, because we're gonna give this a mince, as it's called, which is a little bit smaller than a regular dice. So you kind of just want to go across the garlic like this, and it'll give you like little slices. And then now you kind of just want to go across in a sawing motion, or a knifing, chopping motion like this, I guess. I butchered that, that's good. But you just want to go over and over, basically until you get your garlic as small as you want it. Okay. Now we're gonna do our cilantro. With cilantro, you kind of want to make sure that you don't chop it over it multiple times, because then it'll start to bleed and like lose its flavor. So with cilantro, I like to chop it once or twice maybe. So what you want to do is like get it into a bunch and then chop as small as you can. I have a bunch of stems in there because I actually like the texture of the stems from the cilantro, plus it's easier to like prepare like that. We got one cut, and then I'm just gonna cut across it one more time to break up some of the bigger leaves there. And then now I'm gonna add this to our bowl. And then I'm gonna add the juice of 1 to 2 limes, depending on how juicy these guys are. I have a little lime juicer here that's really, really helpful. That's a juicy lime, so I'll probably just do 1 of these guys. That's okay, we can save the rest. And then once you got all the juice out, you can take a spoon and then give your pico a good mix. I like to do the pico first because it'll marinate for a little bit if you give it a chance to sit. But as you can see, it's really come together. And then you can adjust this as much as you like. If you like more tomato, add more tomato. If you like more jalapeno, add more jalapeno. I actually only started with 1 jalapeno because it ended up looking like a lot. But you can obviously adjust this as much as you want. Then I'm going to go ahead and finish this off with a little bit of salt and a little bit of pepper. And then let's give that a mix. And this is our pico done and ready to go. So now I got my oven preheating for the nachos, and I got my pan preheating a little bit too. I'm gonna go ahead and throw just a little splash of olive oil in here. And then I have just some regular old ground beef that you just want to throw in right away. And then to get that seasoned, we're gonna do a good amount of salt. Good amount of pepper here. And then we'll do some ground paprika. Some chili powder. And you want to go pretty heavy with the seasonings here. And then finally, some garlic powder. And then you want to give that a good mash, get it all broken up, and then you want to make sure your flame is on medium high. That way you can start to get a good sear on your meat. So we got our meat all cooked up here now. So we're gonna get going on our nachos. So we're gonna start with a nice even layer of your favorite tortilla chip on the bottom of a baking sheet, preferably lined with foil, but if it's not, that's okay. So now we're gonna go ahead and take our meat and sprinkle that over the top of our chips. You can do this in any order you want. My girlfriend was just saying that she likes to do the cheese first, but meat first makes more sense in my head. But let me know down in the comments which you prefer. But we're going to make sure we get all of our meat on there. And then next, we're going to go with a lot of cheese here. And you want to get that all over too. A nice even layer. Make sure you get around the edges where it's going to get nice and crispy. Hopefully you're not lactose intolerant, because this is going to be a rough one for you. This is an easy way to make nachos. If you want to do like a cheese sauce or make your own with the roux, you could go ahead for that too. That's our nachos right there. And then now we're going to take this guy and throw him in the oven for about like 5 minutes. Hope I don't drop this. And then I'll let them go. So it's been a few minutes. Our nachos are looking done now. So we're gonna go ahead and pull them out. And we got some crispy bits on the top, and cheese all melted. That's looking real good. So now we got our nachos here. Let them cool just for a sec. And we're gonna take a spoon or a spatula, preferably if you've got one. And you're gonna take that onto your plate. It's a little bit messy. Nothing wrong with that. And then now we're gonna top that with the pico that we made earlier. And there you go, nachos.